Butter. My father has cancer that was detected early, and he'll likely live a long time. Go PCF. Thank you, Peanut Butter. And thank you so much for all the work that PCF is doing for everyone right now. We've got a $50 donation from Mad Hatter Matters. First donation of the marathon here. Wow, oh wow, this AGDQ is looking to be the best one yet. Much love to all of the runners and staff. And don't forget, let's go fast. Chat. Oh, I'm so excited. This next run doesn't belong in this world. It's being brought here by Dr4gonBlitz, who wish to pay you tribute. And yes, it may steal your soul and make you its slave, but perhaps the same could be said of all speedruns. But what is a speedrun? A miserable little pile of, well, you know. Next up is Dr4gonBlitz with Castlevania, Symphony of the Night, All Bosses. How about you?
What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for the introduction. Yeah, this is going to be Castlevania Symphony of the Night, All Bosses. I'm super excited to share this with you guys today. As a quick warning to anybody who may be sensitive to like flashing lights, this game does have a few tricks that may cause the screen to flash a few times. I'll do my best to try and warn you ahead of time. But other than that, I'm pretty much ready to go. 3, 2, 1, go. So at the very beginning of the run, we're going to be playing as Richter here in the prologue sequence. Everything I'm doing here is important to set up my items and stats when I start playing as Alucard after the sequence is over. One of the ways that we're going to get through the sequence very quickly is a glitch known as damage stacking. So if I'm able to do the Hydrostorm item crash and then throw a Holy Water on the ground right afterwards, there's a random chance that I do additional damage. Let's see if we get it here. Didn't really get one there. You would notice Dracula's health bar on the right-hand side start to just melt. So it's pretty much random whether you get them or not. Didn't seem to be getting any here at all. It's fine. We can just kill them the old-fashioned way using our sub-weapons and attacks. Pretty bad RNG, but it doesn't really matter at the beginning of the run. But yeah, moving onward, we're going to start playing as Alucard. And when we begin our run as Alucard, we will gain access to our starting gear. Our starting gear is very powerful in this game. It is some of the best gear in the game. The game tries to take the gear away from you in a cutscene with death. So we are going to try and keep our gear using a glitch known as Death Skip. Specifically, we're going to attempt to do a reverse shift line. The way reverse shift lines work is they are a glitch where you can manipulate where you get sent after a screen transition by pausing the screen in a specific spot or freezing the screen specifically. The way we're going to freeze the screen is by getting a level up in the exact pixel perfect positioning. And I'm going to use the map to help me guide that positioning. And we should be getting the level up after this last guy. I just have to set up the Warwick's positioning, set up my positioning, and then go for the trick. That should work. There we go. And that reverse shift line passes us through the room where normally death takes away our gear, and we get to keep all of the powerful starting gear. Some of you guys might be familiar with a different version of Death Skip that requires that we do a damage boost past that room. That's like an older version of Death Skip that doesn't turn out to be faster for this run specifically, but I figured I'd mention it since it's a very popular, well-known version. One thing that's important to note, the main movement option that you guys are going to be seeing me do throughout the beginning of this run is called shield dashing. Specifically, I'm canceling my backdash by pulling out the shield, and I do that over and over and over again, so shield into backdash, over and over and over again, so it allows me to keep the high base speed of the initial part of the backdash without going through the slow end lag at the end of the backdash. And it turns out to be a little over twice as fast as your normal walking speed, so we're going to be trying to shield dash as much as possible throughout the beginning part of the run before we unlock some of the more speedy movement options. Another thing that is really nice about this run, because we did the Death Skip earlier, we get to keep all of our very powerful gear. This means that the boss fights in this All Bosses run are going to be a lot easier than they would be otherwise. They're still pretty easy without this gear, but this gear makes them a lot faster, very easy. And this is our very first boss fight of the run, Slogger and Gaibon. And just like that, it's over. So the benefits of having the additional gear at the start speed up every single boss fight, and it turns this speedrun into a showcase of movement between the bosses, and it's less so about strategizing how to actually beat the bosses themselves, which is really, really nice because the movement in this game is one of the reasons I personally fell in love with speedrunning it. It's my favorite video game of all time because of its movement. And yeah, our goal for this beginning part of the run, we call it in the community the clock rush. So the very first 8 minutes of the game, there is a few things that we need to grab kind of to set up for the rest of the run. And we're on a global cycle that is dictated by the clock room in the central part of the game that we're about to pass in just a second here. So this room coming up right here, if you look in the top left-hand corner, there's a statue that moves there. That's kind of the game hinting that like, hey, this room is important. The statue moves. You might want to check this out later. That statue moves in and out of position every other minute. So on even minutes, it'll be out of the way and we'll be able to pass through that section up there. But on odd minutes, it's in our way and we can't actually progress. So the fastest possible cycle we'll be able to get to when we get back there is an even minute, specifically 8 minutes. This is the 8-minute clock rush. And as of right now, no human has been able to get a time faster than that. So because of that, we essentially don't have to worry too much about our time because we are on that global cycle. Right now, since we're moving along to the outer wall, where the outer wall we're going to find the first transformation relic. This is the Soul of Wolf. This is going to let us transform into the wolf, which will give us extra movement options. Specifically, it's going to give us access to a dive kick. The developers gave you the ability to dive kick out of transformations, but they never intended you to use that dive kick to gain extra height. So we're gonna do exactly that by dive kicking off of a candle to gain access to that area that's behind the statue over there. Right here is yet another boss fight with the doppelganger. I'm going to be taking advantage of the fact that the doppelganger is susceptible to the stopwatch sub-weapon. This completely freezes him and allows us to fight him without him fighting back, making this somewhat annoying boss fight completely trivial. And there he is, 3 slashes and he's done. So from here, we're just going to be grabbing that Soul of Wolf. If you got donations, and that would be a great time for him.
I've got some for you. $50 from Sestrin. Good luck on the Soten All Bosses run, Dragon4gonBlitz. Can't wait to see all the bosses for about 1 second of screen time each. What you just seen. $25 from Kona Recon. Here's some money to get Dracula some new wine glasses. I hope he buys in bulk. And $50 from Jet Fuel Ghost. Consider this a $1 donation and 49 other $1 donations for watchers who aren't able to donate. Thank you so much, Jet Fuel Ghost. I appreciate that. Time for one more?
Yeah, one more sounds good.
Sure. $50 from Satoryu. Sup, GDQ? I'm totally ready for another week of speedrunning goodness, and I'm especially ready for Dragon4gonBlitz to shield dash and infinite wing smash through Soten. Good luck, buddy.
Thank you, Satoryu. Real quick, now that we have the Soul of Wolf, we're going to transform and do a slope jump here to grab this item. The slope jump works that if you're running against the slope and jump in the wolf transformation, you get a little extra height. We did that to grab the Garnet item, which is going to be used in a glitch later on. We're essentially going to sell it for virtually infinite money, as much money as we would need for the rest of this run a little bit later in the library. Another thing that's important to note, I talked about the ability to dive kick with the wolf, but also the wolf has a decent dash speed. It's a little bit slower than shield dashing, but it allows you to keep that high base speed in the air, which is something you can't do with shield dashing. You have to be on the ground to shield dash. So in sections where you need to jump a lot, it can be faster to transform into the wolf and use wolf movement instead. This is one of the few places where we're going to be doing that. And there are some tricky jumps and like attack timings you have to get down to make sure you can transform and stay in wolf transformation the entire time. Because if you take any damage, it forcibly removes you from the transformation. You go back into Alucard form. But we made it through just fine. And here is the clock rush in action. There's not much for us to do here. We made it here in under 8 minutes, which is the fastest possible cycle for us. I did make an entire like 25-minute long video essay explaining this clock room and how all the intricacies keep us from saving more time as speedrunners. There are a few like theoretical ways to pass the 8-minute barrier, but as of right now, no human has been able to do it. You either need to get insanely lucky with like a 1 in 4,000 chance drop, or you have to play at task level for like 7 minutes straight. So as of right now, no one's been able to do that. But we're moving on. Here we're going to the Alrox's quarters, which will lead us to the Colosseum. The Colosseum has 3 important items for us. It has the Form of Mist, our next transformation. It also has a library card that will allow us to transport directly to the library, which has more good stuff for us. And it also has the Shield Rod. The Shield Rod is a very powerful weapon in this game. It allows us to do spells based off of what shield we have equipped. And since we started with the best shield in the game, we're going to use the Shield Rod in conjunction with the Alucard Shield to do a spell that just completely obliterates every enemy in a matter of just a few frames even. There is also a boss fight for us. This boss fight is a little bit interesting. It is the Minotaur and Werewolf boss fight. There's a cutscene that is associated with the boss, and for some reason, if you skip the cutscene, it causes the enemy AI to just not load in right away, so they just stand still for a little while, giving us a chance to sit here and wail on them, and they never get a chance to fight. Past this boss arena is going to be the Form of Mist. This Form of Mist is required to allow us to get the Soul of Bat, which is the most important transformation. It's what we're going to be using as our main form of movement as soon as we get it. It also allows us to transform into other transformations a little bit faster and reset our momentum. So the Mist does have utility outside of just unlocking one extra transformation. This is where the Shield Rod is. It's protected by a bunch of enemies. We're going to damage boost into this area, use our library card to warp out of here, and we're going to be setting up for our next glitch right away. We're going to be setting up for that shop glitch that I was referring to earlier, but first we need to grab a specific relic, the fairy relic, by doing another slope jump, as well as dive kicking off of this book here. Gotta hope for a good pattern. Okay, we almost didn't make that. The book RNG can be quite brutal sometimes, and the hitboxes just won't allow you to get up there. We got pretty lucky there. But yeah, the fairy relic spawns in a fairy familiar, and when you spawn her in, she has a bit of dialogue. That dialogue can interrupt other cutscenes' dialogue, and by doing so, it allows us to access menus we're not supposed to be able to while talking to the shopkeeper. Let's get that set up right here.
Your work.
Very good. So now I'm going to be able to equip that garnet that I got earlier. As I sell it, this underflows the garnet from 0 to 255, and now we can sell as many as we need to get all the overpowered gear that we need. We're going to be buying a mana prism and a duplicator specifically.
Thank you.
I'm interested.
Those 2 items are very, very important for the run. I'll explain those in a second. We're also going to be activating the Shield Rod spell now. This gives us the ability to do damage with our shield as long as we interact or touch an enemy with the shield. So the duplicator allows us to refill our magic all the way to full. The mana prism allows us to refill our magic all the way to full, and the duplicator gives us infinite usage of the mana prisms. So the mana prisms also give us additional iframes as soon as we use them, so we can be invincible for about a second. And I'm going to go for a damage boost right here. Didn't get the best possible damage boost, but it was pretty good. The best damage boost launches you across the room a little bit easier. But that was another section where wolf movement is a little bit faster. And we get to see the shield spell in action. The boss is defeated before I could even say it. And we're setting up for yet another glitch. This is going to allow us to leave the library a lot faster than normal. This is the wolf floor clip. Nice, I even got the little visual glitch here. Call that Badu card. This is a essentially triple frame perfect floor clip. And I'm going to use the map to help me buffer it, so let's see if we can get it. Nope. One frame off there. Let's try one more time. Oh my goodness. I keep getting the wrong frame on that last one. There we go. Yeah, like I said, it's essentially triple frame perfect. The map does help us confirm which frame we get, but in order to map buffer, you do have to actually press the inputs in real time. There's no additional leniency. It's mainly just for confirmation. But yeah, now that we have the bat transformation, we're going to be using this as our main form of movement. You're going to notice that I'm flying around in the bat with the little trails falling behind me. That's a spell called wing smashing. So every time I wing smash, it's actually a pretty technical input. I have to hold the jump button, do a 3/4 circle motion on the control stick, and then release the jump button. And I have to do that every 63 frames, or else I get booted out of the transformation and the wing smash will expire. So in sections like this, I'm essentially doing that input once every second to keep myself in an infinite wing smash chain. Every single time I do the input, however, it does take a little bit of magic. It takes 8 MP. So I have to be able to refill my MP as soon as I untransform, so that way I can do more wing smashes. And we get to combine all of that movement in this section right here, which is probably like the most precise wing smash section in the game. Let's see if I can get it. No. You have full control of your height while you're in a wing smash. So you have to be able to do the input and then afterwards correct your height as well. And that's where the major like skill expression of this game is being able to do the wing smash inputs, but also control your height and timing with them as you're doing them. Coming up here, we're grabbing another relic. This allows us to double jump. This is the leap stone. It also gives us access to a dive kick. And the dive kick itself has a high base vertical speed. And we can take advantage of that high base vertical speed and maintain that momentum during the bat transformation. It's called a dive bat. It's what I'm using to get through these rooms quickly. You could also do it to move during the transformation animation, so that way you're like gaining speed and momentum going into your wing smashes. Coming up, we have yet another glitch. This first castle section is full of like just movement tech and glitches. It's one of the reasons why this is my favorite category. Right after this boss fight, we're going to set up for a chapel-specific out of bounds that is frame perfect. I don't know exactly why it works. I just know that it works. And it's very convenient because that out of bounds will get us into an area that we need to get to much faster than going the other way around. Possible flashing screen warning now, just as a heads up. All right, we're good. Yeah, this pushes us out of bounds into this void area, which gives us access to the Aurochs' quarters from the other side. Normally there's a statue blocking our way, but this gets us past that statue, and we can get to the Aurochs boss fight much quicker than intended. And from here, there's not too much to talk about. It's more movement and boss fights, so now would be another great time for donations.
I can do that for you. We have $100 from Purple Fox. Hey DB, so cool to watch you run at GDQ. Good luck and have fun and smash those wings.
Hi Purple Fox, hope you're doing well.
We have $25 from Issa. Soden is one of the most satisfying speedruns to see done this skillfully. Mesmerizing. $25 from Vicarious Vice. If Dracula did some soul searching, maybe he wouldn't be so evil. But then again, he never self-reflects. Woof. Thank you, Vicarious Vice. $20 from Sushi Elemental. Dr. Acula to the boss room. Calling Dr. Acula, please come to the boss room. Thank you. Thank you, Sushi Elemental, for your $20 donation. Time for some more?
I just got a frame perfect floor clip that I was not expecting to get.
Whoa, that's awesome.
I wasn't going to mention it on commentary because it's like, there's no way I'll get that in a run. But no, I did get it. That saves like 6 seconds. It's not the biggest deal if you end up getting it. It's one of those things you go for and you hope to save the time, but if you don't get it, there's no reason to try again. From here, that floor clip saved us enough time where we're moving on to our next movement option, the gravity boots. This is a relic that costs 5 MP to activate, and it gives us a large vertical jump. We can control that jump in a few different ways, but we're also going to be setting up for another floor clip similar to what we did in the library. This one is just as precise. It's about triple frame perfect, so it does have a lengthier setup though, so it's a little more punishing if you miss it. There we go. Not too bad. So clipping into the stairs here allows us to access the load zone for the underground caverns from out of bounds. Funny enough, if this was the PlayStation version, this would end up corrupting all of the graphics on the screen. It would look really funny. But on the 360 version, that ends up not happening. But yeah, that skips a large like detour that takes like about 40 seconds to open up the underground caverns and press a switch and all of that. But we need to get here because there's more bosses for us now. And we now have access to essentially our main movement kit that we're going to use for the rest of the run. We have our double jump, we have our high jump, we have our bat transformation, our wing smashes. And one of the things that I absolutely love about this game is how you're able to chain all of the movement options together. And this is like the first room that we get to like showcase all of the movement options being utilized. So satisfying to be able to combine the momentum from the gravity jumps into your transformations, into your wing smashes. Right here is probably the most notorious like flashing screen warning that we're going to have for the run. This is a glitch that allows us to skip out of this boss room quickly, but it causes the screen to flash a few times. So just as a heads up for the next like 20 seconds. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to kill the boss while it's still off screen here and deload the door to escape. Oh, I didn't actually get the... Wow, that's the first time I have missed that in a very long time. It's fine. Flashing screen warning over. All it would have let us do is to leave the room and not have to backtrack and wait for the death animation. It saves like 10 seconds. But yeah, moving along here, we have another long wing smash chain. This really gets to show off like how you need to control your height for these wing smash chains, as well as control the timing of them. Because if you touch the ceiling or the floor here, you'll end up zipping either into a wall, bonking, and then forcing you to untransform, or it'll zip you into the water. Want to make sure to not destroy that Donkey Kong skeleton here. Funny enough, we just recently found a glitch that is PlayStation exclusive. Or it's technically not a glitch. It's a developer debug code that was left in the final version of the game, where if you just plug a controller into player 2 and press the triangle button, the bridge explodes on its own. But we have to do it the old-fashioned way here on the Xbox version, using the Donkey Kong skeleton to throw its barrel. But yeah, we have yet another boss here, and we're going to be coming up on my favorite glitch in the entire run. It's so silly. If performed perfectly, it saves a little under a full second. But I absolutely adore it. It's another out of bounds similar to what we did with the caverns, but instead we're going to be damage boosting using a toadstool and touching the load zone right from out of bounds right there. We could have just went one room over and entered the area like normal, but no, we have to do it that way because it's much funnier. And it technically saves a little bit of time, so it is optimal. Yeah, we're coming up on the final boss of the first castle here in just a few moments. This run really does fly by as soon as you get started. We gain access to so much of the castle as soon as we gain the ability to fly. And with various glitches and other movement options, we're basically able to skip around and go wherever we want. We're going to use a library card to leave this part of the castle quickly. And we need to move on to the second castle now, the inverted castle. And how we're going to do that is we're actually going to skip the encounter with Richter, where you need to save him to unlock the second castle, doing a glitch known as Richter skip. There are many different ways to skip Richter in this game. The way we're going to do it is by using a precise wolf jump on a slope, which will allow us to get past the game's check to see if you've are wearing the holy glasses and if you have saved Richter or not. The default state for that room is that Richter has already been saved, and it allows us to just get past the cutscene and go straight into the second castle. It's a pretty precise trick. It's very inconsistent. I'm hoping to see us get it within a few tries here. But yeah, skipping the holy glasses section saves like 5 minutes of backtracking in this run, so going to be setting that up right here. Yeah, I didn't get it. I'll try the backup. It's a little slower, but a little bit more consistent. There it is. Nice. And we're going to skip right past Richter. I have to be careful for when I skip the cutscene there, because if I skip the cutscene at the wrong timing, you could actually end up soft locking. So very happy that didn't happen. That's like the only worrisome part of the run, where something might go absolutely wrong and the run is ruined. But from here, it's smooth sailing. We have our movement options that we need. We have our shield rod spell, and it's going to be just us moving around the castle, killing a lot of bosses. Now is a great time for some donations.
Yeah, I'm sitting here stunned by this run, as is chat, as is everyone donating. We've got $50 from the Gecko. This Soten run is jaw-dropping, amazing stuff by Dragonblitz. I agree wholeheartedly. Thank you, the Gecko. $50 from Draco. I'm a big fan of Castlevania, and I love to see games played fast. I'm loving the Soten speedrun so far. I think we all are. $100 from Brando. First time catching a GDQ event live, had to donate during one of my favorite games of all time, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and my favorite runner, Dragonblitz. Good luck with the run, DB, and thanks to all the GDQ community for all the hard work and donations.
Yo, thanks.
We've got $33.33 from Chilihead, who goes, "What is a cup? A miserable little pile of secrets." Anyway, I need this Cuphead run and those dad jokes. Chilihead, we are right now just a little over $3,000 away from unlocking Cuphead as a bonus game coming up right after Borderlands. So $3,000 chat. There's 90,000 people watching Soden right now. If y'all just donate, we can unlock Cuphead together. I know we can do it. Time for some more donations?
Yeah, keep going.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. I got them. $250 from Jammin' Out. Hey, GDQ. Been watching this wonderful event for over 8 years now, and it's always an amazing time. Can't wait to see more of my favorite games get completely destroyed. Good luck to the runners. Thank you, Jammin' Out. $200 from Come Here and Get Some, and they just say, "Gotta go fast." I think we're succeeding. Thanks, Come Here and Get Some. $50 from Morgul Blades. This is an event that I look forward to every year. Love the community, cause, and everyone volunteering their time to make this possible. Big shout out to my daughter Shiloh, who's tuning in with me this year to cheer on the amazing runners. Hype! Thank you, Morgul Blades. That's cute.
Yeah, coming up here is probably the number one reason we grab the gravity boots. This section of vertical climbing is, I want to say, like 40 seconds slower without the gravity jump here. So we are able to chain these jumps together to climb this really long area to get to our next boss, which is Doppelganger again. Again, we're going to use the stopwatch to freeze him in place. We use the mana prism to set up our iframes so that way he doesn't hit us before we can hit him. Here's another section where you have to be careful with your height. Like I said earlier, there's a mechanic in this game called terrain boosting. You can take advantage of it in a few ways, but in like tight hallways like this, you want to be careful to not touch the ceiling while you're wing smashing, because when you wing smash against the ceiling or any slope, the wing smash wants to follow the angle of that slope. And by doing so, a lot of the time it ends up zipping you into walls or into areas that you don't want to be. So again, it just comes down to a lot of control of the inputs of these wing smashes. Coming up here is also another like vertical section. This is one of my favorite movement sections in the game. When performed cleanly, it looks so nice. I'm gonna try my best to show that off. Yeah, right there. That entire section is so awkward to maneuver through if you're just playing the game casually. You're pretty much just in the bat transformation, flying straight up, hoping to not get hit. But being able to show off what like high level movement in this game looks like is always a pleasure. And that is one of the most shocking, outstanding areas where it's very clear that there's additional movement used to help get through those areas. All right, we're about halfway done here with the second castle, coming up on the hardest boss in the game. And by hardest, I mean he has the most health points. He has 12,000 health points. And we just want to stand around his head because we do a little bit more damage. But yeah, considering most bosses die in a matter of frames, the fact that he lasts a few seconds just goes to show how much health this guy really has. But yeah, more donations if you got them.
A lot of them, $50 from Eric and Rachel W. This is our last GDQ before we welcome our baby into this world. Had to get a donation in before sharing SGDQ with our future 1-month-old. Thanks for the hundreds of hours of entertainment, and we can't wait to share future events with our little bean. Aw, congrats, Eric and Rachel. $25 from Mooney. Always a great time when I catch one of these. Great work to all the runners, great work for the work you all do for charities, and great content to watch. Now let's get that cup of fun unlocked, shall we? Checking in one more time on the Cuphead incentive. We've moved the needle a little bit, but we've still got a little bit to go. Just around $2,500 away-ish to get Cuphead unlocked. Chat, I know you can do it. I'm counting on you. I believe in you. Get those donations in towards Cuphead. $50 anonymous donation. Thank you everyone at PCF and GDQ for everything that you do. Thank you so much. $50 from Fetch. One of the 2 weeks out of the year that I look forward to the most. Good luck to all the runners, and thanks to all the staff and communities that make this happen. Thank you, Fetch.
I do want to take some time to shout out the Soten community as well. Like I said in the interview, if it wasn't for the kind people at the Soten community over the years, I wouldn't be here today. So if anything you're seeing here looks interesting and you want to learn this game, it's one of the most inviting and welcoming communities of speedrunning that I've ever seen. So definitely go to the speedrun.com/Soten and you can find a link to the Discord, our long library Discord there. I also am always happy to help new people trying to get into the game. So yeah, I'm just excited that we've had a lot of progress over the years, a lot of new discoveries, new speedrun tech. We've had a lot of people join the community because of our randomizer as well. The Symphony Night randomizer we've had tournaments for and races all the time in the Discord. So just huge shout out to everybody that loves this game and keeps playing it to this day. This guy takes forever, so more donations.
Absolutely. $50 from Feywild. My first GDQ and donation since starting my new job. Every year, our cups overflow with amazing runs, but let's fill this cup head incentive a little more for good measure. Thanks for the awesome runs and the excellent event every year. Thank you, Feywild. We're getting there towards unlocking Cuphead. Just around a little over $2,000 now. Chat, you can do it. We got $25 from Mystic Theurge. Mystic Theurge here. I'm a follower of Dragon4gonBlitz, and it is great to see him at AGDQ. Good luck.
Thank you.
$50 from Hill House. Yet another cancer survivor here to provide some firsthand proof that early detection saves lives. Shout out to anyone fighting right now and to the Prevent Cancer Foundation for saving lives. Thank you, Hill House.
Yeah, we're coming up on our last little bit of the run here. It goes by so fast. That was our second to last boss fight before the final boss encounter. We're coming up on our final boss fight. And yeah, it's, like I said before, this is my favorite category for a lot of different reasons. But just the ability to move in this game is something that has kept me hooked for almost 10 years. Speedrunning wise, we're just still discovering like new small optimizations all the time. We're discovering big game warping optimizations like the bridge break tech and stuff like that. So I'm just so happy to be here, so happy to be running this for you guys. And there was the final boss before our next glitch. This is a glitch that we're going to use to get into the final section of the game. Normally there's in the inverted clock room, that big clock room that I was talking about in the first castle. In the second castle, that hides the final boss encounters. And normally you need to collect these 5 relics, these 5 pieces of Vlad. We're going to be doing that relic skip. Specifically, we're going to do a reverse shift line, similar to what we did to keep our items at the start of the run. But instead, this is going to push us into the ceiling. This is another section with a potential flashing screen warning for those that are sensitive. I'll let you know when it's all clear. But yeah, pushes us into the ceiling. We're going to fly through the ceiling for a little while. It's going to push us to the other side, past the barrier where normally we would need the relics. And it skips a very long clock opening animation. And we are good on flashing screen for the rest of the run here. And we have 2 boss fights, and then the run is done. Again, thank you guys so much for allowing me to show this off, showing you guys the speedrun of my favorite game and my favorite category. And the final 2 bosses, they go by quick, so I'll let you know when we're ready on time. But yeah, again, if any of this interests you, don't be shy. Join the Discord for Soten Speedrunning, the Long Library Discord, and I would love to get at least one new person running this game because of this run today. And time is coming up in just a few seconds here. And time.
Go back whence you came. Trouble the soul of my mother no more.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Thank you guys again. And
Is it that I've been so
yeah, that was a pretty clean run overall. I mean, we lost some time to the very technical tricks, but that is how this category can be sometimes.
Sarcasm.
For what profit is it to a man?
The final time of 32:40.
Not bad, not bad at all. For a marathon run, doing marathon safety strats, I'm pretty happy with that.
1626, I believe. Tell me, what were Lisa's last words?
She said, "Do not hate humans."
Yeah,
If
thanks
you
again.
cannot
This was an
remove them, then at
absolute
least do
blast.
them
So
no
happy to be
harm,
here.
for theirs is already a hard lot.
And I hope you guys enjoyed the
She
run.
also said to tell you that she would love you for all of eternity.
Lisa, forgive me. Farewell, my son.
So you made it.
Alucard, I'm glad you're all right.
I'm sorry. 'Tis my fault you had to fight your own father.
Fear not. I had my own reasons for destroying him.
It must have been painful for you.
Indeed. But you must always remember that the only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing.
I understand.
Alucard, what will you do now?
The blood that flows in my veins is cursed. 'Twould be best for this world if I were to disappear forever.
I see.
Farewell, then. We'll not meet again.
Alucard,
Okay, thank you so much, Blitz, for that incredible run. Y'all make sure you follow Blitz on Twitch, follow Blitz on YouTube. Really, I think one of the most underrated speedrunners out there. Really fantastic game. Amazing run. Glad to see it. And thank you for being here today with me, y'all. We're here on Awesome Games Done Quick 2023 online, powered by Twitch. And your donations are going to support the Prevent Cancer Foundation. Not only that, your donations have been going towards unlocking great games, great incentives, and I'm watching the numbers rise right now. We are a Oh my gosh, Jed, after 10,000 years, I'm free! Oh, I was buried by all of your amazing donations to unlocking Cuphead, which you did. You did that. You, through the generosity of your hearts, unlocked Cuphead, which will be coming up right after Borderlands. Thank y'all so much. Let me read one more donation here really quick. We've got a $25 anonymous donation, and they say, as a game developer, I enjoy speedruns immensely. Always heartening to know that not only my game can be broken in thousands of ways. That's right, Anonymous. We're donating, we're breaking every game. Every single game. And one more thing that's being broken today is that game you just unlocked. It's Cuphead. And I've got an interview with the runner with Kungfufruitcup, interviewing Jason, 2890.
Hello, everyone. I hope you're enjoying the marathon so far. Awesome games done quick. 2023 online. It's so fun. I'm so excited. I'm so glad to have seen the pre-show this morning. I mean, been part of it. It was totally live. Definitely, totally. But I hope you all have been enjoying it. And I just saw that awesome Castlevania run. It was wonderful. But not only that, like Cardi B was saying, we have met the incentive for Cuphead, which is amazing. So I'm super excited to be speaking today with Jason, who is getting ready to run the game. How's it going, Jason?
It's going pretty well.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, it's been good time. We've been having a nice time chilling before the interview today. But I wanted to get in and talk a little bit about Cuphead. I want to get you all excited. This is something that's not like a normal. We're not doing the normal version of Cuphead here. This is 300%. So, what does that mean?
Okay, so for those of you that might be out of the Cuphead loop a little bit, first of all, there's like 3 seasons of the Cuphead show on Netflix, so check that out if you haven't. But also, within the last, like around 6 months ago or so, Studio NBHR released DLC for Cuphead. It's nicknamed the Delicious Last Course, which is their acronym for DLC, and it has added a whole bunch of new content to the game. The 300% category is basically a completionist category. We're playing through the entire base game, all the DLC. We're collecting all the coins, we're beating all the bosses, we're getting all the weapons, all the charms, all the super arts, we're unlocking everything, and we're doing it all on expert difficulty. And if you do all that, the file percentage ends up saying 300% at the end, so that is what we're doing today.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay, so then how much would you say the DLC adds on top of the base game? Like, is there a percentage or something, or like what? How would you measure that?
So the base game has like 3 main aisles, plus there's the Inkwell Hell section with King Dice and the Devil, and so the new DLC adds a completely new aisle. But I would say it's a bigger chunk than the regular aisle. So I would say maybe it adds like maybe an extra third to the game, or maybe even like, I don't know, 4/10 or something, 2/5, whatever fraction you want to call it. But I'd say it adds a pretty significant portion to the game. There's a bunch of new bosses, a bunch of new weapons, charms, and you get to play as Miss Chalice herself, which we will see a lot in the actual run later this evening, because she has different mechanics in Cuphead and Mugman, which makes her very versatile for speedrunning.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's really exciting. Yeah, that's something I haven't seen before. So then on top of that, what would you say, especially with a character change, was maybe the hardest thing to learn or thing to adjust to when adding the DLC?
Well, just mainly like the new character in general. Like normally you can choose between Cuphead or Mugman, and they both play the same. They're basically just a character reskin with slightly different animations. But the new character they added, Miss Chalice, has completely different movement tech. She has a double jump instead of a single jump. She parries by dashing. She has a dodge roll. She has 4 HP instead of 3 HP to start battles. So there's a lot of new mechanics. And whenever I first played through the DLC, I refused to play as Miss Chalice. I'm like, this is a new character. I'll just go through with what I'm familiar with. And then once I finally started playing as her, I realized, oh man, this is going to break the game. Like, this is going to change speedrunning for this game.
Yes. I mean, first, okay, I feel like a double jump, as soon as you get a double jump in any game ever, it just breaks it open, or it just changes how you play completely. It's amazing. So yes, that totally makes sense. So would you say that maybe that's like the most exciting thing for people to look forward to? Or like, if you had to tease something about people who haven't seen the DLC yet, is there like one thing you're like, this boss or like this character? What would you say?
I would say just in general, just Miss Chalice. Like, even if you're familiar with Cuphead speedrunning, we're actually, just as like a little sneak peek of the run later on, we're actually going to go through the DLC content very close to the beginning of the run, and then use DLC items in the base game. So even if you're familiar with Cuphead speedrunning and you've seen people play through the game 100 times before, it's different to see it played through with new items and new characters, and it'll be just a whole new experience throughout the entirety of the run.
Cool. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see it. Okay, well, it's not just about me in this interview. I want to give some people on Twitter a chance to say hello. So we're going to go to social media for a second, and I got a couple questions for you. The first of which is from at Shadow Diosama, who says, what was the hardest boss trick or level to master?
Ooh, okay, so for this particular run we're doing, there's a really cool trick on aisle 3 on the Sally stage play fight that we just call Sally Glitch, and it's pretty precise. You have to, like, there's a secret phase that they added into that fight, which allows you to go through the fight differently than normal. But if you trigger the secret phase at the same time as you trigger the phase transition normally, it ends up glitching the fight out, and you skip the second phase entirely. Some of the animations become a little weird, and you end up skipping directly to the secret third phase of the battle, which kind of sequence breaks things a little bit. You end up saving like 20-ish seconds, but getting the timing down for that ends up being pretty difficult to master. There's a lot of stuff that you can do to really make that as efficient as possible, and just getting all the mechanics down to trigger that successfully is just pretty difficult.
Right. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I can't wait to see that skip. That sounds really awesome. I love anytime a game is being broken, if you've seen the hotfix stuff, you all know what I'm talking about. But yes, that's going to be really amazing. So there's all kinds of wonderful info for you all to know about before the run comes up, so you can catch this first bonus game. Thank you for donating for it. Before I go, one more quick Twitter question for you. Okay. This is from at Red Rollins Yum, who says, "Hi, Jason. 2 questions. So we'll stick with, well, you know what? They're both easy. 1, why are you so good? Which is always a fun question.
Okay.
And 2, between Cuphead and Mugman, who is the better character and why is it Cuphead?
Oh,
Much love from the Cuphead speedrunning community. Go kill it."
Okay, yeah. So first of all, no, Mugman's the better character, and let me tell you why. Okay, so I will admit, I'll give you the fact that, okay, without Cuphead, there wouldn't be a game. Cuphead's like the main character in Cuphead. But like, here's the deal. Whenever they got into this whole issue with the devil, it's because Cuphead didn't listen. Cuphead rolled the dice. Mugman tried to tell him to stop, but then they ended up getting their souls taken by the devil. So Mugman is the responsible brother here. He did nothing wrong, and he's the better of the brothers. But that being said, the name of the game is Cuphead. I will be playing as Cuphead later tonight, so it is what it is.
Well, you heard it here, everybody. You see, we got some Mugman love coming through. Give us some hearts in the chat if you love Mugman as well, okay? And thank you all so much for tuning in for this interview and chatting with Jason. It's been wonderful. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate talking with you and getting everybody hyped for the Cuphead run coming up. It's going to be so fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to it later.
Yes, yeah, no, it was a blast. All right, and then next up, we have the Borderlands Game of the Year Enhanced 20% unrestricted run coming up. That's going to be really, really cool. So can't wait for that. And then Cuphead comes up right after that. We have oh my gosh, this marathon is it's like chef's kiss. Oh my goodness, I've been so excited. So please enjoy all the runs for the rest of the day. And I will see you back soon. You all can't get rid of me that easily this week. But yes, again, thank you all for sticking around for the interview. And let's get back to some runs.
We'll see you.
Thank you so much for that extremely informative interview. And by informative, I mean informing us that Mugman is indeed the correct choice in Cuphead, because he is. He's just better. We know that. Thank you so much for tuning in here to Awesome Games Done Quick 2023 online, powered by Twitch. Your donations have come in. They've unlocked Cuphead. And I wanted to let you know about a couple of other bonus incentives we've got coming up. First of all, we're not too far away from the SSX 2000 Extra Track Showcase, which is coming up. We're only about less than $2,000 away from unlocking that. We've got these 2 new ones, however, that unlocked, and you've got it. I think you're gonna like these. You're gonna love them. Yakuza Kiwami, okay? Yakuza Kiwami, one of the best Yakuza games, and we've got 2 incentives for Yakuza Kiwami. The first one is a $10,000 incentive for us to play the karaoke minigame. Okay? Not too bad. We've already got $100 in the pot, and I haven't even talked about it yet. Okay? Yakuza Kiwami karaoke minigame, $10,000 incentive. And for a $30,000 incentive, Yakuza Kiwami Super Boss Showcase. Do you want to see the hardest bosses in the game showcased for your viewing pleasure. Well, Big No-No will do that for you tomorrow afternoon, okay? Yakuza Kiwami, get those donations in. We've got time. Chat, I know you can do it. You're so powerful. Again, there was 90,000 people here just a moment ago. If you all donated $1, that's both incentives knocked out. So let's do it. In the meantime, you've got some donations and coming from you. The letter A, literally just the letter A, sends $200. And they say, looking forward to another year of GDQ. Great Soten run. It really, really was. Really one of my favorite runs I've ever seen at GDQ. Folks, we've got more runs coming up. Borderlands is on the way. Stick around, because after these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey everyone, I'm Meaty6, here to show you some quick speedrun tricks in Doom Eternal. First up, we have the Urdak Island skip. As a beginner, you take this trick fairly slowly, preserving your speed through the rings and doing 3 ballista boost dead swaps. But with practice, you can get an extra boost in with punch swaps and go much faster. Next, we have the Tower's Sushi skip. Beginners should take it slow and line up their boosts to ensure that they don't miss. But experts will be able to maintain momentum the entire time, ramp jumping on the ledge to keep their speed going. Finally, we have the legendary Ecorn Punch Boost. Beginners can do a more careful strat to get into this window, avoiding the punch boost altogether. With some practice, you can punch boost all the way up to this window. And then, when you practice long enough, you can do this. Check out Modern Doom speedrunning, join our Discord, and be sure to check out the latest bundle from Humble Bundle, including Doom Eternal, benefiting the Prevent Cancer Foundation.
And welcome back, everybody, to Awesome Games Done Quick 2023 Online, powered by Twitch. We're here tonight with you, benefiting the Prevent Cancer Foundation. And if you're just joining us, you've missed some really great runs, but I'm happy to tell you that there's a lot more to come. A lot more. We've got Borderlands up next with ZZ Rules 21, Cuphead, Donkey Kong Country 3. It's gonna be amazing. So don't leave. Don't leave your seat. In the meantime, let me read a couple of donations here for you. $5 from Mistlo. Your Canadian designer, ocarina-themed kitchen products maker Malcolm Stilo, here to give a huge shout-out to Scent and the Prize Dungeon team for the fantastic demo. Only one run left to get those donations in to get that pretzel desalinator for yourself. That is one of the wildest prizes I've ever seen here, and it was really silly seeing them show it off. So thank you so much for your donation and for the prize that you've given us today, Malcolm. Thank you so much. And folks, we are ready. Our next game takes place in the distant future of 2864, at a time when various megacorporations seek to control entire planets. This is the future, I promise. Let's break into the vault with ZZ Rules 21 playing Borderlands Game of the Year Edition Enhanced.
All right, welcome everyone